So we've been following this manhunt for the New Orleans jailbreakers, but now it appears to have taken an unexpected turn. Last night there was this video that started circulating on social media. It appears to be Antoine Massey, one of the two active fugitives still at large, saying, among other things, he didn't break out of jail, he was let out of jail. Come on now. NewsNation's Alex Capriello live in the newsroom. Anthony Ganji joins us as well, 20-year veteran in the corrections industry. He's the host, actually, of Tear Talk, which is a podcast dedicated to the corrections industry. Anthony in a moment, but Alex, you first. All right, so what's, if this is Antoine, which I think people think it is, right? What's he saying?
Yeah, we do have to include that caveat because NewsNation hasn't been able to independently confirm that that is Antoine Massey, although most certainly it seems as if it is, it looks like it is, and we've had further indications that it is. For example, we just learned this afternoon that authorities have already found out which house it was, which kitchen that is, that he's seen filming that video, because we know that a search warrant has been conducted there. They looked for Massey inside of there, couldn't find him. So whenever this video was shot, he's already long gone from now. But as far as the content from what's inside that video, Massey really just making the case that he feels as if he's wrongly in jail. First and foremost, he says the charges that have been levied against him, like domestic abuse, strangulation, kidnapping, that those have all been dropped. He showed a paper which he claimed was an affidavit that the DA has actually dropped those charges. And then he also just asked for help. He named some rappers, Lil Wayne, Meek Mill, asking them to help him out. He asked the Kardashians to help him out. And then he asked President Donald Trump, the guy who probably could get it done if he pays attention, listens, and wants to. He could offer a pardon, but who knows? Of course, we don't think that that will go all the way up to the White House. You never know, but that's at least part of the video of what he's saying.
All right. Speaking of help, that's a good word, Alex. Anthony, did he help himself with this? Probably not, right? I mean, you see the guy wearing a watch. He's wearing different clothes, right? There's got to be some sort of a digital trail. What are people going to be able to pick up that are investigating and looking for him from this video?
Well, I think one thing right off the bat is going to be social media. I mean, obviously, when you put yourself on social media, the alerts go up. So when we have an escape, the first thing.
Just going to be me and you, Alex. If Anthony stays frozen in time, I was giving him a second. But, yeah, Alex, I'll wait while we wait for Anthony to unfreeze. The sheriff, we were talking earlier about how he was let out of jail. The sheriff did speak earlier about the whole thing as well. What did she say?
Well, interestingly, this was before we found out that the house had been searched, but their initial statement was, if this is Antoine Massey, going back to the idea that we don't officially know that. If this is Antoine Massey, then the sheriff was strongly encouraging himself to turn himself in. Come on in. You know, obviously we're looking for you. Massey is one of 2 inmates out of that original 10 that are still on the run. The sheriff also saying, look, if you don't want more charges levied against you, then the best thing to do now is to just drop your cell phone and bring yourself into your local law enforcement authority. Beyond that, the sheriff did appear in a press conference setting earlier today, about an hour ago or so, Connell. We expected maybe the sheriff to address this video and say what's the update on trying to capture these 2 convicts that are still on the loose. But instead, that press conference was more about the overall infrastructure of that jail. It certainly sounds as if there's some serious plumbing problems there, potentially what ultimately led to them breaking out. We know that they escaped from behind a toilet. Turns out that there's more than 16 leaks all throughout this facility. It's only 10 years old, and you shouldn't encounter these problems until the jail is around 30 years old. Yeah,
the thing escape from behind a toilet. It was that was the thing I was kind of, it's not funny, I guess, but just saying, well, they let me out of jail. I was like, well, did you think that hole behind the toilet was like a new door they'd installed or something? But, covered these. We lost Anthony, who was going to analyze it, but, you're as good as anybody. You cover these things all the time. So if you think about it, we'll talk a little bit more about what Anthony started to speak about. He did leave a trail, right? I'm sure that's what experts will be telling you, that they're going to pick up on as much as they can from this video.
No, and I've spoken to law enforcement sources. I've covered criminal trials all across the country as part of my career, and I know that there is a massive digital footprint you leave behind as a criminal the moment you pick up a cell phone or you type something into your Google search bar. Posting a video is no different, and so we know law enforcement were quick on the trail, trying to find that IP address, figure out where that house was that he posted it from, and these are all little breadcrumbs or leads that police officers, investigators, the U.S. Marshals will use to try to find him.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.